What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the Fit Couples Perspective. Excited to be here with you today. It's a Saturday for us today.
Woo!
Saturdays
Saturdays.
They're fun, but they're busy. Busy. We got a lot going on right now, don't we?
We do.
So this morning, and it kind of goes into what we're going to talk about, but busy time of year for us with our girls are like full on cheer season right now.
Yep.
And, Terica usually does more of the cheer stuff, and I do more of the soccer stuff. Our son plays all-star competitive soccer as well. So it's nonstop, and kind of get to that point of year where it goes like year-round. I mean, the girls are pretty much in cheer year-round right now, aren't they?
Yeah. I mean, we're to the point where, I think that you get to a level in competitive sports that it's year-round. Of course there's like seasons to it where they're like more their competitions or their games or whatever are in season, let's say, and right now we're like in season of all the competitions, so it's busy.
Just busy, yeah, for the girls at least. Soccer's kind of off season right now,
but it's gonna start up. It's gonna amp up real soon.
So. Yeah, like a 2-month break, and then it's about ready to start up again. And it's pretty much, how many nights or days a week are the girls doing cheer?
At least 5 to 6.
5. It's wild. And our son has been doing soccer 6 days a week, and something related to soccer. And he's also
in basketball.
And playing basketball too. So we have 6 kids. 3 of our kids are heavily involved in their athletics right now, and that, takes a lot of our time. I mean, today we had soccer practice at 8:30 in the morning. And it's pretty far away. It's like a 30-minute drive to get there. And then one of our daughters had cheer at 10. So that was, driving from soccer to killing a little bit of time to over to cheer to then go back to pick up the boys to then come home.
And then work out.
We got our workout in.
And then we had to take another daughter back to cheer. And
you came home. And now we're doing a podcast. And then we
gotta go pick them up.
Pick a daughter up.
Yep.
But in between all this, we have just normal stuff that comes with being busy. And, like we have a birthday party today, and we're killing 2 birds with 1 stone on that one, I guess, right? Daughter's going to a birthday party, and son is doing a little grandma's birthday party at the same place at the same time, conveniently enough. But needless to say, we're busy. I mean, if you had to put a scale on our busyness, 1 being we have absolutely nothing to do, and 10 being the tank is just about full, what would you say we're at?
We're just about capacity, I would say, on some days. Some days are less, and so it's not as busy, but I would say 3 days out of the week we're literally like we have to have both of us to make it work. Mm-hmm. So that's how busy we are, to the point of like we have to have people that help us with rides, we carpool, and then we have to have 2 drivers.
Yeah.
So we have to, on some days, have 2 drivers, like today.
We put a lot of miles on our car.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yep.
But, and that's what we wanted to talk about today was, how do you manage a busy lifestyle, but still make fitness a priority? And, maybe you don't have kids that are in, sports, but, maybe you're just building a career. Maybe you're super busy at work. Maybe you have other things going on for yourself, for other family members. Maybe you've got 6 dogs that you try to, I don't know. Everybody's just got their own things going on that keep them really, really busy. And I think, just a common theme is, with fitness is, and we hear it a lot, is just, I just don't have time for it. I have so many other things going on that, how can I possibly make fitness a priority? So what we wanted to talk about today was more like, how do you balance out, a busy lifestyle, but trying to also make fitness a priority? So if somebody came up to you and just asked you, so I wanted to start with this and just said, how do you do it? Okay. And you had to give them like, okay, I've got 30 seconds to respond to them. What's the first thing that you think of when that comes up? Because we get asked that a lot.
Yeah, we do get asked that a lot. And I would just say 2 things. 2 things specifically are how I get it done. Is 1, you make it a habit. And 2, you make it a priority. And those are, I think that's it. It's a priority and it's a habit, because once it's a habit, it's not as hard to do. And if it's a priority, you'll make it a habit. So they kind of like coexist.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, if somebody were to ask me that question, which again, you know, we get asked a lot, I would just say this, you know, you have to be very intentional with your time. When your time gets limited, you just have to be more intentional with how you spend that time and what you choose to do with that time. I mean, I really do think people waste a lot of time every day.
I mean, I still waste a lot of time.
Yeah, like even as busy as we are, I think.
As busy as we are, I still feel like I waste time.
And I agree, you waste a lot of time. Just kidding. I waste a lot of time. We waste a lot of time.
Yeah.
And, you know, one of the things that I always tell people, if you don't think you waste time and you have an Apple iPhone, just go look at that screen time report on your phone. And you'll find where some extra time is. I mean, seriously, it's ridiculous how much time even I spend on my phone. Granted, a lot of it's, you know, work and things like that, but still, it's a lot of extra. So I've got a few things in mind as far as just like, here are, you know, some ways that I do it, but what if you had to like start with number one? Okay, so number one, how do you make time how do you balance out this busy lifestyle, being a mom to 6 kids, still making fitness a priority, staying in great shape? What's the first thing that you would say?
I would just say make a specific time that you go. So if you have a super busy day, schedule out the workout every day. Think about it before the next day. You know, it's 10 o'clock at night. What time am I going to go to the gym? And have no excuses for that. So I think a lot of times what happens is 2 things, because most people can't work out in the daytime, I would say. Most people. So it's either in the morning before they go to work, which is usually really early, or after work, and sometimes that's really late. And I think that that's where people get a detour. And because they don't want to, you know, they want to hit the snooze button, I'd rather not work out this morning, or they get done with work and they're like, I'm too tired, I'm just going to go home. And I think that that's you can't go back on what you say. You've got to be true to what you said the day before. So I think keeping the time that you want or wanted to work out and just having no excuses, saying, nope, it doesn't matter if I'm tired, I'm going to go to the gym, or nope, if I want to sleep in, that's too bad. You have to kind of, you have to give up things. You have to,
Well, I think this comes back to what you first said, which was you have to make it a priority. And, you know, one of the things that we often do, and I'll kind of make this my number one, is write down your day. Map out your day. And even just last night, I was talking to Terica, like, okay, so what's the schedule tomorrow again? Because there's so much going on. She goes, just let me just write it down. She grabbed a piece of paper and a pen and she wrote it down. And like, I tell clients to do that a lot of times when it comes to logging your food. Log your food in advance so you have an idea of what tomorrow's going to look like. Like if I know that I'm going to go out to eat tomorrow, how do I make that work? And so I would recommend, if you have a busy schedule, write down what it is that you're doing the next day, and start with your 24 hours that you have in a day, and take out your sleep and your work, right? Because those are things that, like, non-negotiable, don't move. You know, those things aren't very adjustable. So start with those things that are pretty much concrete, set in stone, and then start with your other activities. Okay, you know, I've got, you know, a phone call at this time, or, you know, I'm supposed to take a kid here at this time, or I'm going to go watch my niece's basketball game at this time, and then map that out. Okay, so it's like, okay, I've got 8 hours for sleep, I've got 8 hours for work there, you know, and then how does that fit in? You know, what are we doing with those other 8 hours that we have in the day? And, you know, most of the time when you write it down on paper, you find like, oh, geez, I've got time for it. Why don't I just do it at this time or this time? But where people run into trouble is when they start their day and they're like, okay, I need to try and get a workout in sometime today. And then it just doesn't end up happening. Just like when people try logging their food the day of and they're like, okay, I'm going to do really good at hitting my 1,800 calories today and I'll just figure it out as I go. Like, no, that's like fails almost all the time. So I think that is a huge part of it. And then you make it a priority because you plan it into your day. And then there's other things that just kind of happen that are super flexible. Like, oh, I want to call, you know, my aunt today and check up on her and see how she, you know, her surgery went. And it's like, okay, I can probably fit that in somewhere else in the day. Or I need to go to the store and I need to shop for some things. Like, that doesn't have to be done at a specific time. So maybe I can fit that in at another time. And I think you'll find that you can fit that stuff in. So what's another way, your second, if you had to kind of put it that way, that you think, really helps you balance these things out?
I also think that it being like I said, it's like a habit. I think that the thing that you have to work towards is finding something that you want to make a habit, because it's much easier to keep the habit if you like it. So finding a workout that you like, I think, is huge in keeping it a priority. If you like it, you're going to want to keep it a priority, and you're going to want to make it a habit, whether that's hiking or biking or skiing or rock climbing, whatever it is. I think that if you keep that, or if you find something that you really love, you're going to want to make it a habit. So find something that you love to do. If you like weight training and doing that, I mean, that's what I like to do. And I think that that's how I make it. It's easier to make it a habit when you find something that you like.
I'm so glad you brought that up, because I think that is, like, if you like it, you're going to strive to make it happen. But what people do a lot is they're like, oh, dang, I don't know how you guys do it. It's like, I'd love to do that, but I just can't seem to find a way to do it. And it's like, you don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Right? It's very clear when I talk to some people, they're like, oh, man, I really wish I could do it, but, life's so busy. And it's like, no, you don't wish you could do it. You don't want to do it.
Yeah.
And maybe it's because your workout that you're thinking of sucks. And you're like, that would be terrible. Like, I don't want to schedule that in. I'm just going to keep making the excuse that my day is too busy. And so, find what you like to do, and then you're going to be more willing to put it into the schedule and make it a habit.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm really glad you brought it. Again, it doesn't have to be the gym,
Yeah.
hiking,
no, not at all.
Pickleball, rock climbing, whatever it is that, floats your boat. I think that's huge. Another one that I was thinking of was just, being able to give yourself some grace too, and understand that there's going to be some times where you can't stick to your plan. There's going to be some things that pop up. The principal just called from the school, or the school nurse just called and you have to go pick your kid up from school, and I was about ready to go for a workout. And being able to just recognize and understand, like, okay, that messed up my habit today, or that messed up my plan, or my workout that was a priority. Now there's a bigger priority that just came in the way, and that's not something that I was able to plan for. And I see a lot of people, like, and maybe you've seen this as well, but a few of those things come up, and then they're like, see, that's why I can't do it.
Yep.
That's why it doesn't even make sense for me to try, because I'm probably going to get a call from somebody, and then it's not even going to happen. And what would you tell those people that are frustrated because some of those things happen?
Well, it's like the exact conversation we were having on our last podcast. I think it was our last podcast. And we were talking about the F-it mentality and with food. And I think it's the exact same way. It's like you eat one thing that you made a bad food, or that you shouldn't be eating, and then you go crazy and you're like, F it. Like, I'm just gonna not care anymore. And I feel like it's the same way with working out. Like you said, it's like they have 2 days in a row where work goes too long or whatever, and they're like, well, like you said, it's just like, no, I can't make this work, obviously.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing that I said with the food. It's like, you have to just get back on track. I mean, there's been so many times that I've gotten calls of a kid being sick, or a kid just stays homesick, and there's no way of you getting to the gym, or you have a baby, or there's just so many things. But when I had a baby, I didn't stop the habit. You can still, even a 10-minute workout in your in your room doing something I feel like it even keeps that habit. And that could be the way that you navigate that situation, is keeping your habit but doing it in a different way. So 15 minutes. If you could do 15 minutes, you'll feel at least a little bit better about you not being able to get to the gym that day. So I think, trying to find some other way to keep your habit, or if you're not able to at all, even there's just so many things that could come up in your life. Like, you could break your leg, but you could still go to the gym and do what are those called? The arm ergometer things. There's just so many other ways. I mean, I see people into the gym where they're have their broken arm and they are only doing one arm. It's just you can't, there's no excuses. I just feel like that's the biggest thing, is no excuses. You can always do 10 minutes of a workout in your room at your house.
Yeah.
Like always. Like I think there's very few people on the earth that would be able to say, I don't have 10 minutes to do that. And I just think that keeps your habit, like the cycle going. It keeps the ball rolling.
Yeah.
So that would be my take on that.
And to that point, it kind of comes up to one of my other ones. Do you need a gym to get in shape? And the answer is no. You don't need a gym. For like 95% of fitness goals, you do not need a gym to get in shape.
Absolutely.
Now, obviously the gym provides like a massive variety of equipment. It provides the motivation of other people there, the energy, but you don't need it. It's nice to have, and for the cost of a gym, especially here, great value, might I add. But you don't need a gym to get in shape. It's just like Terrica's mentioning. I mean, we can, for somebody that just has a goal to like lose some weight and perhaps see some more muscle tone, you can absolutely accomplish that at home in your backyard, on the hiking trails, body weight exercises, a few bands. Like most people can get in phenomenal shape without a gym. So, you know, the idea like, oh, I couldn't make it to the gym, so that's why I'm not in shape. It's BS.
Yeah.
And it's an excuse. And you have to recognize that there's those opportunities to get a workout in, to get exercise in, and move forward toward to your fitness goals, even when you don't have your ideal circumstances in like a gym that are available to you. You can do so much at home.
Oh yeah.
And it sucks. Like nobody wants to necessarily compared to a gym. But
yeah, for the first 3 months after any of our kids have been born. I mean, we got to the point where you would be able to like watch the baby, but they couldn't go into the kids club until they were 3 months old. So I had to keep that habit. And the only way I could do that was a lot of times was just at home. Mm-hmm. Because you can't leave a 2-week-old baby home with a dad that doesn't have the goods for the baby to eat.
Might not be as good.
Yeah. So that's just an example right there. It's like I didn't work out. I mean, a lot of the kids, I didn't work out in the gym for at least, you know, however many weeks, and then after that it was like hit and miss when it would work out. But I always made it a habit, whether I was here or at the gym.
If you want to get in great shape and you have that busy lifestyle, then you want to look for opportunities to just incorporate that lifestyle into your life. So it's not separate. It's not like, oh, here's where I'm working out and here's where I'm living my life. Like, what if you could incorporate those two together? For example, like just movement is so important when it comes to offsetting the calories that you take in on a daily basis. So, you know, like if people just took like 10,000 steps per day minimum, you know, we would be in so much better shape. Mm-hmm. And we can find those opportunities. Like I'll give my example and then maybe you can give yours. Okay. Like when I'm at work, I can get up and move around a lot, and I think most people can. Like I can go walk around, I can check on equipment, I can see the cleanliness of the gym when I'm at work. I can grab somebody that I need to have a conversation with. I can say, hey, let's go for a walk and let's walk and talk. Okay, and we can walk around, and I think a lot of people can on a lunch break. You know, you can choose to, you know, go for a walk. There's ways to move around. When I'm at home, even when I'm at home, I can find ways to take the kids for a walk, to go out on the swing set. Like if we never stop moving, then we're going to be in better shape because that movement is so powerful. And I think the cool thing about like being a parent is your kids don't want you to stop moving. They hate it when you sit down and don't do anything. So you're going to be a better parent, and you're going to help support your fitness goals by doing that. You can cut out so much time needed at the gym if you just stay active at home. And I know you're like crazy active. Like how many average steps do you think you take per day?
I don't know. I think it used to
well
be more
over
when
10,000.
Oh yeah. I think it used to be more when we had like littler kids, I feel like, but a bunch of littler kids, but I would say 15.
Yeah, probably like 15,000.
Yeah, it's probably average, I would say.
So how do you do that? Like what are some of the ways that you feel like you get the extra movement in? And
I'm just not a sitter though. I think that is a that's almost like a personality trait. I really do, because we have 6 kids, and there's some of them that do not stop moving, and then there are some that would rather just sit on the couch all day.
Yeah, but you don't fight it, you know? You're just
No.
like, embrace it, let's go with
Yeah,
it.
and I think that is part of it. Is I think that as parents sometimes you're like, oh, you want me to go up there and like do that or whatever, and we do that, of course. But I think that, you know, finding the opportunities with the kids to go out like and play soccer, go out and go on a walk or whatever it is, go ride your bikes with your kids. I think finding those opportunities instead of trying to like avoid those opportunities is huge. And I'm just going to go off of what you were saying with the movement. I think that two huge examples of the movement thing that I would say 90 to 95% of people do, including myself, and I think that it's just a super, super easy thing to change, is one, at the airport. People sit for hours in these like airports on layovers, and then they go sit on planes for hours, and that's like the easiest, I can't think of an easier place to walk around and get movement.
And those are the same people making excuses that I can't get in shape because I'm too busy.
Exactly. And that's, it's such a missed opportunity for every person at the airport sitting in the areas waiting for their planes. And then the second example is, and I actually think it's so funny because you made a video a long time ago with your brother, and you were, basically the video is him like,
it's good. It's really good.
him running in a grocery parking lot and going up to, I mean, it was supposed to be a stranger, but his brother, and being like, sir, why are you trying to, this guy looks like he's like
circling the lot for the closest parking spot. We've all been there.
And he goes up to him, he's like, why are you trying to find the closest parking spot? And he's like, well, of course, so I don't have to like, you know, walk to the store any further than I need to or whatever. And I mean, that was kind of like you showing that like, that's such a easy, another missed opportunity for people. It's like everybody is like trying to take shortcuts as much as they possibly can. And like even at the airport, another thing is like taking the stairs. Why? Like it's such a good...
Stairs are empty. Escalator, there's a line.
All the time.
Right?
Every time. Like the stairs are totally empty, and the escalator is just full of people, and it just blows my mind.
Can't get to the gym, I'm too busy.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I'm not in shape.
And then when you're 60, you can't even go up the stairs.
Yeah.
And you're put into a position where you can't even do that.
Wish I could have gotten in shape, but I just couldn't go to the gym. You know?
Yeah. But you could have done the stairs at the airport, or you could have walked around the airport. You could walk closer or further away from the store. Like there's so many opportunities that I think people miss to just have that little bit of edge on their everyday lifestyle of being more fit. It's so simple. That's the problem, is it's so simple. People want this like huge answer, like, wow, that's the magic of how you get in shape. No, the magic of how you get in shape is simple stuff like not parking at the front spot of Walmart.
Yeah. And it's like you have to view it as an opportunity too. And that's when things change. Like you get to the store, you just stop even looking for a close parking spot. You're like, oh, sweet, you know, I get some extra steps in, I park back here, nobody door dings you in the back of the parking lot either, you know? So this is awesome. I'm not gonna get any door dings, and I'm gonna get some extra steps in. This is great. And when you view it as an opportunity, then your whole perspective starts to change on that, and I think that's huge. I did want to touch on the nutrition just real briefly, and you know, there's two things that I think are huge here for somebody that's busy and they're looking for really stay in shape. Number one, I actually think that intermittent fasting is a great idea for most busy people. Not because I think it's superior to regular calorie deficit, but it's just a tool that allows busy people to stay busy and do the things they need to do, but still probably consume the right amount of calories and macronutrients they need to. And I know you kind of utilize more or less an intermittent fasting, and I couldn't get it for years and years and years, but now I understand it more. You're just like, I'm too busy during the day. And you know, you choose to just kind of eat light during the day and wait until you actually have the time to enjoy some food at night. And I think that's really helped you. I don't do intermittent fasting, and it's not something, again, I would just recommend to the average individual. But if you're really busy and you're struggling to hit a calorie target and things, it could be a good option for you. Not great for building muscle, but for losing body fat, maintaining your weight, it's a good option. Well, you just have this strong base of muscle. And as far as like one other thing that I think is a great tip there is just schedule it in, just like you do your workouts. I've been scheduling my meal prep on Sundays and Wednesdays for years. And when you actually schedule it in and you're intentional with that time, it really doesn't take much at all. I'm an hour start to finish on my meal prep twice per week to literally, between that and a protein shake a day, fill all my protein needs for the week.
Yeah.
Huge. Anything you want to add on nutrition?
No, I don't think so.
So that is our perspective on how you manage a busy lifestyle and still make fitness a priority.
Thanks for listening, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.